in Anaheim for the Braves and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And we welcome you to a Memorial Day showdown of interleague fashion. The Braves making their second stop on this long three-city road trip. And we get our first look at the Angels, Joe, in quite some time. And obviously the news of the day for Anaheim and Major League Baseball, not very good with the injury to Mike Trout.
No, it's a blow to the Angels, much like Freddie Freeman's broken hand was to the Atlanta Braves. And how long Mike Trout's going to be out remains to be seen because of that ligament damage from the slide yesterday. But that's a big blow to them. If there's something that the Braves can perhaps capitalize on, the fact that he won't be in the lineup for this series, and he's been swinging the bat great.
So Ricky Nolasco is the man on the mound for the Angels tonight. Before we get to the lineups and more on Ricky Nolasco, we apologize for the technical difficulties we are having with our broadcast tonight. We've got some power issues and satellite issues that are interrupting our feed of signal back to Houston and Master Control. Our great Fox Sports crew is working on that as we speak, so we will do our best to bring you as many of the pictures and sounds from Game 1 of this series as we possibly can. And it's a matchup of Nolasco for the Angels and Julio Teheran for the Braves.
And the Braves certainly in their history have seen a lot of Ricky Nolasco. 34 years old, 6'2", 215 out of Corona, California. Spent a lot of time with the Florida, then Florida Marlins, and lifetime against the Braves. 6-10 with a 5.11 ERA. He's coming off a start against Tampa Bay where he lost 5-2. And he gives up a lot of homers, 16 of them this year in 10 starts.
So Ender Inciarte is ready to get started for the Braves. He's the leadoff man and center fielder. We will be playing with a designated hitter tonight. The DH is Matt Kemp. And we are underway. A strike, says Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire. Ender Inciarte at .284 for the year, 5 homers, 18 driven in. He's seen Nolasco before. He's 2 for 3 against him. And a swing and a miss as Ender behind 0-2.
A little different look to the lineup tonight with Markakis moving up to number 2 with Brandon Phillips nursing a sore knee. Kemp moving up 1. Adams and Flowers moving up 1.
And a slow roller past first. Eddie Perez, the Braves' first base coach, makes the play, and Inciarte will do it again. Well, what we hope happens tonight is it's Mike Scioscia's club that has to dig out of an offensive hole. Braves fell behind bad yesterday in San Francisco, 7-0 in a blink of an eye, and fell 7-1. And a hanging breaking ball is whacked toward the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. Ender streaking around first is on his way to second. A lead-off double and an excellent start here in the top of the first inning.
Cameron Maben moves over to center field to take the place of Mike Trout. And we certainly know a lot about Cameron Maben from his time with the Braves. But you're right, big-time hanging curveball to Ender. And he didn't miss it.
8 doubles for the Braves leadoff man. Now Nick Markakis batting second with a .301 average. Chance to move him over or put the Braves in front in the first. Right back to the mound. And there'll be a low throw at first, but a nice play by Luis Valbuena to save a bad throwing error from Nolasco. And there's the first out of the inning.
Designated hitter, number 27, Matt Kemp.
Nice play by Valbuena to save the pitcher from having to the embarrassment of not being able to throw the ball to first.
So Matt Kemp digs in. Matt at .344 for the year. He's knocked in 27 runs. And that missed badly outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Man behind the plate for the Angels is Martin Maldonado, who used to be with the Brewers. They got him in a trade. And he has played brilliant defense And so much so that you've got to be alert on the bases no matter what base. He'll pick you off if you're not careful.
That's low and outside. That caught a corner. 2-1 to Kemp. Maldonado was originally an Angel. Was drafted in the 27th round in 2004 and was then released 3 years later. Then the Brewers signed him and then acquired him for Jet Bandy. Little roller hit to the left side. Nice pick. Pennington's throw to first is on the money. And neither Markakis nor Kemp can advance Cincinnati to third base. He's at second now with 2 outs.
First baseman, number 18, Ana.
What you are seeing is the Angels live feed that we are attempting to talk over. So when you see these keys to the game for the Angels, now you know why. We hope they're all wrong.
Here's Adams, cleanup hitter tonight for the Braves. He's hit 3 homers. He's knocked in 11 and batting .272. That danced in for a called strike. Lefties have hit 5 homers against Nolasco this year. Righties 11. That's right. He's surrendered 16 home runs in just 58 innings now. And of the 29 runs that Nolasco has allowed this year, 21 have been the result of a home run ball. So let's see if he can make another mistake. Adams, though, in a 2-strike hole. And there's some of that Maldonado defense right off the chest protector. Nice play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
One of the things the Giants did in that recently completed series was throw Matt Adams a lot of off-speed pitches when they got ahead of him in the count. Got him to widen his strike zone and got him to chase. Looked like Nolasco was trying to do the same thing there.
Popped him up. Simmons drifts out. Eric Young is under and puts the squeeze on that. And Nolasco pitches around a leadoff double by Ender Inciarte. Julio Teheran goes to work in a scoreless first next. Houston. So we have our broadcast back with you on Fox Sports in the Southeast. Atlanta got a leadoff double, nothing else in the first. Time for the bottom half, and Julio Teheran goes to work against the Angels.
And for Julio, you see pretty obvious splits there that his road numbers are very good. They have not been at SunTrust Park. So hopefully tonight our Ford keys to pitching success will reflect that. He is 3-4 on the year, a 4.88 ERA. The first key, however, is 4.1. 4.1 represents his walks per 9 innings. That's a career high for him, almost double his normal number. He's got to cut down on the walks. And, of course, Willie Nelson on the road again. Julio just can't wait to get on the road again. There you have it.
I like it. And he'll face a former teammate, Cameron Maybin, who's the Angels leadoff man and now playing center field for Mike Trout, who, if you've been living on another planet and follow baseball, well, Trout to the DL for the first time in his career with a torn ligament in his thumb. So Julio to work, and he fires outside, ball one. Maybin's done a nice job in the leadoff spot, hitting .409 in this his 11th start batting first. .247 overall on the year. Cameron's also stolen 12 bases in 13 tries, so a good idea to keep him under control at the plate. And a drive hit toward right field, and easy for Nick Markakis, who's got it. Maybin's retired, 4 out, number 1.
Looks like the sun is off to the right on Nick as far as his shadow, which is kind of pointed toward the right field corner, so hopefully off the bat he's not going to have too much problem, even though the sun is in right field right now.
Mike Scioscia's the skipper of the Angels. His Toyota starting 9 has to find a way to replace Trout, much like the Braves without Freddie Freeman. They do have Albert Pujols hitting third. Andrelton Simmons, the former Brave, is a red-hot man. He's batting fifth. Fontana, Maldonado, Pennington, and former Brave Eric Young Jr. hitting ninth. Cole Calhoun is the batter and fouls that one away. The Angels just wrapped up a 4-6 road trip, including dropping 2 out of 3 to the Marlins. In fact, that loss in the series to Miami was really tough to take, not only because Trout got hurt, but it was the first series win for the Marlins since April 23rd. And so the Angels come back to town a game under 500 at 26-27 and hope to get healthy here where they've played their best ball. They've won 15 of their first 23 games on their home turf.
Angels have had some tough times lately with contract extensions and free agents. This guy has had a couple of years, really good years back to back. They gave him a contract extension, I think, through 2020. And he's hitting .209 and 5 for his last 30. Same with Valbuena at first base. Signed him as a free agent. He's hitting a .167.
Well, you go up and down their lineup, there are a lot of guys that are struggling. And the Angels, a club that has Pujols, a club that has Trout, is at or near the bottom in a lot of offensive categories in American League play. So Julio back to work. His 1-2 pitch is upstairs. Now Calhoun has an even count. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you think about how solid the middle of their lineup ought to be.
So now Teheran's gone to a full count. Julio's ready. Now his payoff is bounced foul. And Calhoun battling here in the first inning. Calhoun played college ball at Arizona State. Was an 8th round pick in 2010. First got to the big leagues in 2012. Had 161 hits last year and batted .271. Played in every game but 5 for the Halos. And he scored 91 runs. So you're right, he is off to an extremely slow start here in the first 2 months. And Julio can't put him away yet. Calhoun won a Gold Glove after the 2015 season. Just 4 errors, 357 total chances.
What surprised me about that was that he was the first outfielder for the Angels to win one since Torrey Hunter. So Mike Trout, I guess, wasn't included in that.
And in 2015, a 26 home run year. Bouncing ball to first. Adams handles a tricky hop. It's a race to the bag, and Matt will win it. And Calhoun's retired after a long sequence. And here comes Albert Pujols.
Speaking of number 5s, I know this is hard on Freddie Freeman not being here for this series, let alone all the other games that he's missing, but especially here in what is almost his hometown.
Albert Pujols, one of the great hitters in Major League history. 597 career homers. And if my math is correct, Albert Pujols is only 130 hits away from 3,000. Popped him up. Markakis and Inciarte will converge. It will be Ender in right center. And Pujols and the Angels are out in order at the end of a scoreless first.
Or less.
Beautiful night in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. No score after 1 inning of play. In the Atlanta second, Tyler Flowers, Rio Ruiz, and Danny Santana are coming up. They comprise the middle of Brian Snitker's Toyota starting lineup for Game 1 of the series. Atlanta got a leadoff double against Nolasco. Could not advance or score Ender Inciarte the first time around. That one danced in for a called strike. 0-1. Boy, Tyler continues to swing a hot bat. A .357 average. A couple of homers, 14 knocked in.
And the highest on base percentage of anybody in baseball with at least 75 at bats.
This one's popped into the stands right side. And the count to Tyler, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Offense from a catcher is not ordinarily something you see as much as, say, a first baseman, third baseman, left fielder, right fielder. And that's not because they're not capable, but you think about all the punishment they take behind the plate, the wear and tear of catching every day, or in the case of Tyler, almost every other day. But that has not affected him at all. Nor Kurt Suzuki. That has been an incredibly productive and valuable tandem for the Braves this year. Strike 3 call. That had some movement. Tyler took it, and Nolasco has his first strikeout.
52 strikeouts, 58 innings for Nolasco.
And he's going to be around the plate. He doesn't walk many. And Rio Ruiz got a nice cheer. The native of Covina, California, has friends and family here in Anaheim. And Rio batting .273. Quickly 0-2.
It's a nice slow curveball, but one he's got to keep in that area below the strike zone, low part of the strike zone. Don't forget about the one he hung to Ender.
And that's cut on and missed. Ruiz is down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts begins the Atlanta second. And now Danny Santana's coming up.
That's his split finger. Good pitch.
And another strike. Couple of doubles, couple of RBIs for Santana. Those numbers are his combined totals with the Twins and the Braves. And this one's hit in the air toward right field. That's going to be caught. Nice running catch by Calhoun. And it's 3 up, 3 down again for Atlanta. Nolasco's retired 6 straight after a leadoff double.
On a beautiful day here at Angels Stadium. Now, today is Memorial Day, and the league is finding so many ways to honor those men and women who have sacrificed so much for us to be able to watch this game tonight. So they are using specially stitched baseballs. This is the first year that Rawlings has made these, and the stitching does match the color theme of today's uniform. So the stitches are different colors of green, a really, really unique way to honor this. They did the same thing on Mother's Day with pink stitching, and it is very hard to see the different stitching, but Chip and Joe, these are hard to get. The only way you can get one of these is if you catch a foul ball, so the fans got to be ready.
How's your arm, Kelsey? We can get one if you can throw one to the booth.
I'm ready.
Right, turn to your left, turn to your
here
left.
we go.
We're up here,
All right.
we're going to wave.
I got y'all ready.
Okay, all right, fire away. That's a great souvenir for the fans, and obviously on this Memorial Day, we too pause and remember and reflect in great appreciation for the ultimate sacrifices that were made. They had a stirring pregame ceremony before the game today. The gigantic American flag unfurled in the outfield. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Bunting everywhere, the red, white, and blue on display. And nice crowd on a beautiful night. I love that hat, even though it's got an Angels A on it. Luis Valbuena, the first baseman for the Angels, as Joe mentioned, batting just 167, a couple of homers for him, and 4 for his last 31.
It's that slow curveball that he doesn't use too often, but it certainly does work. Takes so much off of it, can really fool some hitters, especially left-handers.
Valbuena had a couple of good years with the Astros. Hit 38 home runs in 2 seasons in Houston. Last year was limited to just 90 games because of a right hamstring problem. And they signed him to a 2-year deal through the end of play next year. Broke in with Seattle. He's played with Cleveland. 90 games with the Cubs in 2012. 149 games with him in 14, last 2 years in Houston. And a swing and a miss. Tehran has his first strikeout. Valbuena's retired, 1 away in the second.
Got him to chase that big curveball, then got him to swing through the changeup. I like the way his started. He was very aggressive on the inner half to Calhoun before finally putting him away.
And here's an old friend, Andrelton Simmons, riding a 10-game hitting streak. And a strike. 18 hits over those 10 games. And 10 multi-hit games in the last 16 for the Halos. And he drives that ball to deep center. Ender on a flat-out sprint. He's to the track, to the wall. It's a home run for Andrelton Simmons.
Fastball riding up into him, and he's always been a good high ball hitter. He has been on fire to the extent that they've moved him down in the order to try to be more of a run producer for them. And lo and behold, there's his 5th homer.
Andrelton hit 4 homers all of last year. He hit 4 homers in his last year with the Braves. He now has 5, and the Angels lead 1-0. He had to enjoy that trot around the bases. Anytime you can beat your former team, That makes for a special night, and Simmons off to a great start tonight, extending his hitting streak to 11 games.
Not just that, to hit it off a good friend, too.
That. So Nolan Fontana playing second base, 1 for 14 at the plate this year. That hit his first major league base hit, which was a home run. He's the 4th Angel ever to do that. No swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One of the other guys that they signed in the offseason was Danny Espinosa, the former Washington National. He has really struggled.
And Fontana just struck out. There's a great historical note on Nolan Fontana that I'm going to save until he comes up again. One of the other ones, though, is the man for whom he's named, and that, of course, was former Angel Nolan Ryan. Fontana was born in Richardson, Texas, lives in Winter Garden, Florida. And another former Astro, he was claimed on waivers, so we'll tuck that away till Fontana's next at bat. Here's Maldonado.
Espinosa got off to a pretty good start for the Angels. Hit a couple of home runs opening week, won a ball game or 2 for them, but he's only hitting 141 for the Halos. And that's one of the reasons Fontana was called up and getting a chance.
Maldonado a strike. Told before the game that the Angels liked Jet Bandy, but they didn't think he was nearly as advanced defensively as Martin Maldonado, so they brought him back, sent Bandy to the Brewers. Bandy was pretty impressive in the games we saw with Milwaukee, and impressive was Julio Teheran, who just struck out the side, but sandwiched in between was a long solo home run by Andrelton Simmons to straightaway center field. After 2, game 1, the Angels lead the Braves 1-0.
Tonight, we recognize United States Army Vietnam.
In the press box before tonight's game. Interesting that Hunter Strickland had a vendetta from a couple of years ago. So Bryce Harper's not supposed to try to hit a home run against him?
Well, I think we got a pretty good glimpse of how popular Hunter Strickland is when Buster Posey just stood behind home plate and let Bryce Harper go after his pitcher and didn't do anything to try and stop it. I think that spoke volumes about Hunter Strickland and how tired many of his teammates are of his act.
And they've got a couple more games left in that series. I'm sure there will be suspensions to follow. And Strickland may have more problems with his teammates if one of them gets hit and hurt, if Washington decides to retaliate. I'm not sure who's pitching the next 2 games, but I think Scherzer and Strasburg are lurking at some point.
Scherzer's not tomorrow. He's the day after. I think it's Roark tomorrow.
So Roark and Scherzer, good luck with that. Bouncing ball toward first, that's foul. And Jace Peterson will dig in with a 2-2 count. Jace getting the start for Brandon Phillips. The knee still balky for Brandon. He was limping after the game. Hopefully it's not too serious. Hopefully he'll be able to go in game 2 here tomorrow. Andrelton Simmons with a homer puts the Angels up 1-0. Braves are batting in the 3rd. And that sails way outside. Full count. Dansby Swanson's the 9th place hitter. Then Ender and Ciarte. It's 6 up, 6 down after the leadoff double for Ender. And a ground ball to second. That'll be easy. And it is. Peterson's retired, 1 down.
Shortstop, number 7, Dansby Swanson.
Dansby at 190, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. And looking for his first hit on the road trip. Right there for a strike.
A lot of strikes so far from Nolasco. 31 pitches, 23 strikes.
And fouled away. He's riding a real rough stretch. He might be the guy that can't wait for the month of May to end. Personally, he's 0-2 in this month, and the Angels have lost every one of his starts in the month of May. Home runs have been a problem for him. 9 of the 16 allowed by Nolasco have been in May. And that's off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dansby's done a much better job of not chasing after that pitch. Let's see if he can do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
What a hustle, Angel. Foul ball, beat the ball boy to it. Got his camo mask working today in honor of Memorial Day.
So we're ready again with a 2-2 pitch. Letter high, and Dansby took it. Full count. A chopper hit toward third. Long throw. Pennington's throw is late. Infield hit for Swanson.
Well, Pennington did everything he could to give Dansby a chance to beat that out. He almost ran out on the left field grass to make sure he got a good hop. And any third baseman will tell you, even though Pennington's got a very strong arm, that in-betweener like that, you got to come get it.
He hasn't played a lot of third base. His last 3 starts have been at third. He's played short, second, and left. So maybe some of that inexperience showed on that play. Let's see if Atlanta can take advantage. A 1-out single for Cincinnati, and Ender drives one toward left. Eric Young plays it on a hop, and the Braves have back-to-back hits. So Ender's 2 for 2. Another multi-hit game for him.
Jumped on the first one. It was up. And served it into left field.
That's Ender's 19th multi-hit affair. His 15th 2-hit game. So the right guys at the right time for Atlanta. Markakis and Kemp. 2 on, 1 out. This dynamic duo looking for a little redemption. They couldn't bring home Cincinnati with nobody out in the first.
Yeah, Nick went after the first pitch and just kind of rolled over it right back to the mound. They've gotten a little anxious.
Low and outside, ball 1.
Well, it's about as perfect a pitch as Nolasco can throw right there. At the knees on the corner, and it was sinking.
One ball, 1 strike. Line toward the gap. Long run by Maven, and he makes a tumbling catch. What a great grab by Cameron Maben to take away a double and maybe 2 runs.
Great catch, and it was slicing away from him. I thought from our vantage point it was going to slice enough to keep him from running it down. Cameron's gone to that Hunter Pence school of wearing your pants above your knees. High stepping it. Nice catch.
So Markakis a tough luck 0 for 2. Now Matt Kemp the batter. Matt's 0 for 1. He bounced out his first time up. Kemp has 37 hits in May. Cincinnati has 38. Charlie Blackmon 39 at the start of play today. That's tops in the National League. Again, the right-hand hitters have punished Nolasco with 11 home runs. The Braves have not hit a homer in their last 5 games. This would be a great spot to end that dry spell. And he's got a 2-0 pitch coming. Short hop stop by Maldonado. Good play, 3-0.
Short hop into the backhand.
Does Matt Kemp have a green light? Let's see together, shall we? Here it comes. He did.
Good cut at it, too. Eric Young just called up from AAA by the Angels. He's playing left field tonight. And boy, is he shallow.
Three balls, one strike. And now it's full. So Swanson at second and Ciarte at first will be off with the pitch. And what a beautiful ballpark. It has changed a lot, hasn't it?
My goodness, it sure has.
Talk about that as the night goes on. The 3-2, runners go, and it's outside. Maldonado took 3 steps toward the Angels dugout, thought it was strike 3. Instead, Kemp walks, and the bases are loaded for Matt Adams.
Yeah, I don't think Angel Hernandez appreciated that. Very close, but not there.
So Nolasco will go to the windup with Adams up there. Matt flied out his first time. And he's ahead in the count. Matt's 1 for 12 on the trip. Driven down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. And that'll bounce into the stands for a double. And Matt Adams puts Atlanta in front.
You know, Chip, it was really right on the tip of my tongue to remind all of us about that base hit, that game-winning hit he got at SunTrust Park off a left-handed pitcher, but he shot it to left field. And so far on this road trip, I think he's been trying to pull the ball maybe a little too much, rolling over some pitches. And look what he does here. Pitch up and away, out over the plate, and hit it where it was pitched. Great job. Braves on top.
So the key sequence, the close call walk to Kemp, and then Adams serves one down the line. Braves lead 2-1, and Tyler Flowers is coming up. You don't think one pitch makes a difference in a game? Well, you just saw evidence of exactly that. If Kemp is rung up, the inning's over, and the Angels lead. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way. Now Flowers smashes one off Pennington. He's going to recover and throw high and late to first, and Kemp will come home and score. A rocket, 8 Pennington alive at the hot corner, and Flowers drives home another run. It's 3-1.
Pennington just kind of stood there and almost like he was stunned. He had to be in a little bit of pain. Hanging breaking ball. Tyler's hitting the ball so hard, and that came off his arm. Looked like his right arm. It'll be an E5. Man, that ball was smoked.
So Adams to third, Flowers to first. 3 runs across for the Braves, and Rio Ruiz is the hitter. Another breaking ball, this one taken for a strike.
Stop.
He's made a couple of great plays in this game behind the plate. That one saved a run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pretty good amount of foul ground here at Angels Stadium. So if one trickles by the catcher, just about anybody should be able to score. Let's see.
A long way back to the backstop.
Sharply hit and through for another hit. Adams scores. Flowers will stop at second. And Rio delights his friends and family here in Anaheim The Braves have a big inning. It's 4-1.
Some chopping going on behind the dugout. Good for Rio. Thrill his family and friends, and his 5th RBI.
So the first meeting on the mound with Ricky Nolasco, who has been torched the second time through this lineup. A man that rarely walks anyone did just that. A double, an error, and a single later, he's surrendered the lead. So Danny Santana is the 9th man to hit. He lined out to end the second. 4-1 Braves lead. Pickoff play. The throw was high. And Flowers is safely back. That's something we know as well about Andrelton Simmons. He is a magician around the bag.
Yeah, and don't for a minute lose contact with the base, because he'll have the baseball on you the whole time.
One ball, one strike. .33 of Nolasco's 56 pitches have come in this inning. Bounced toward the camera well foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First time the Braves have seen Ricky Nolasco since 2013. He faced the Braves in his final game as a Miami Marlin and then was traded to the Dodgers. Braves have beaten him 10 times in his career. They're beating him tonight. And a good take.
I know that borderline call on Kemp is something that's probably on his mind right now, but let's not forget about the great catch that Maben made off of Markakis for the second out of the inning that saved him.
Runners go. Pitch swung on and belted deep toward right field. That ball is going to ricochet off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Ruiz around third. There will be no throw. Danny Santana doubles home a pair off the right field fence, and Atlanta is blowing out the Angels with a big 3rd inning.
I know Danny Santana got off to a really slow start, but his hits, and he now has 4 of them, 3 doubles and a triple. And don't forget that he lined out to right and was robbed by Calhoun his first time up tonight. Things are beginning to fall in place for this switch hitter, especially left-handed. That just missed getting out of here.
So a 6-run 3rd for Atlanta, and the Angels bullpen is going to get busy. And Jace Peterson's the man that started the inning. He'll bat for a 2nd time here in the 3rd. Snap throw back to second, and Santana's back safely. Mike Marin is the man throwing in the Angels' pen. As we mentioned, the Angels have been playing very good baseball at home. Their starters, a .362 ERA since mid-April. Nolasco has been chewed up in the third inning. 6 runs, 5 hits, a walk, and an error.
All the runs after 2 were out. That's 97 runs for the Braves on the year with 2 outs.
And Peterson almost got hit. Full count. And a base on balls. Peterson's aboard. And how much longer will Mike Scioscia stick with Nolasco? He's got Dansby Swanson standing in against him. Braves have 2 more on. This will buy a little more time for Morin in the bullpen. Charlie Nagy is the pitching coach.
You want to speed the game up a little bit. This shouldn't happen. He's already been out to the mound. Maldonado has, without the pitching coach once. Then the pitching coach came out. Then Maldonado went out again. He shouldn't be allowed to go out a second time as the catcher with the same pitcher.
Buying a couple more tosses for Morin, and that's the end of the line for Ricky Nolasco, whose May can't end soon enough. He's on the short end of a 6-1 Atlanta game, and he'll depart with 2 more runners aboard in the Braves' third inning.
And by Delta Airlines.
Beautiful night at the Big A. Atlanta has scored 6 times on 5 hits in the third inning, and they're not done yet. And as we see on our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot, what a difference a year has made for this Atlanta offense.
And it's so good because it's so diverse in the way it's left and right set up, and power, speed has been added, and top to bottom it's just a better lineup. And not so surprisingly, Matt Kemp has been a major part of that. But it's not just Matt, it's everybody that has really come through. New pitcher is Mike Morin. He's just in his 6th game. He was on the disabled list with neck tightness. I played with a lot of guys that had a 7 ERA that had some neck tightness.
Braves are anything but tight tonight. Nice way to come back from a 7-1 defeat in San Francisco yesterday, then with a big 6-run third inning tonight. And they're not done yet. Dansby with a 1-out infield hit got the hit parade started against Nolasco. As Joe said, all this damage done with 2 outs. And a bouncing ball up the middle. Simmons will flip to second. Close play. And that retires the side. Atlanta sends 11 men to the plate. 6 of them score. It's 6-1 Braves. Baseball, stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Man, are the Braves well represented in Anaheim tonight?
And as you know, all the All-Stars aren't between the white lines.
No, they're not.
There's a game going on, boys.
You talked about this being a great ballpark, and it is. It was. It's had several facelifts, but the original body's still here.
First pitch swing by Cliff Pennington. He'll shoot one out toward left field. Easy play. And Santana makes the catch, one out.
Well, that'd be great. Julio can have a fast inning, get the bats back up there again. But, I mean, it's obvious when you see this stadium, even on television, the stadium that runs basically from near the foul pole to foul pole is very similar to Dodger Stadium, built almost like as a carbon copy in a way of Dodger Stadium. And then later, when the Los Angeles Rams were about to come into existence, they enclosed this thing all the way around. So it was like a bowl, for lack of a better description. And then when the Rams left, then they tore all that down and made nice bleachers out there in right and left field.
A little ground ball by EY. Eric Young Jr. just up from Salt Lake. He's retired, 2 outs.
Disney owned the team for a time. Are they the ones that bought it from the Autry family?
They were. I think they were. And they were thinking about making a Little Mermaid attraction out in center field.
Oh, were they?
No, I'm just kidding. Either that or Splash Mountain or something out there.
Well, that's where all that waterfall and that rock formation out there, that's where that came from, was when the folks at Disney owned it.
And then Artie Moreno bought this team, and Disney was so desperate to get out of the baseball business, they gave him the deal of a lifetime to buy the Angels, the stadium, after this place had been renovated to its current state. And what a beautiful park. Ground ball toward third, and Julio is going to have that easy inning. Boy, that's great to see. A shutdown in your face, bottom of the third inning. 6-1 Atlanta. We go to the fourth.
Brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
6-1, Atlanta has the lead after 3 innings. As they say at Disneyland or Walt Disney World on the Jungle Cruise attraction, one of the rarest sights you will ever see in the wild, the backside of water. The waterfall out there.
Oh, okay.
It's rarely seen.
I guess that's a good point. And I believe them if that's what they said.
They do. They do. As Ender Inciarte leads off the Atlanta 4th. He's up for a 3rd time. He's already 2 for 2. So Morin will try to gobble up some innings for the Angels. And a good off-speed pitch had Inciarte out in front.
I'll say that was an excellent changeup. This guy's tall. 6'4", 220. Looks taller than that.
It's bounced off the front of the Braves dugout. Foul. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been a while since we've been here at Anaheim. I don't remember the big giant grassy berm that's beyond the bushes in center field. That may have been here.
It was, but I think it was turf. And it may still be. I'm not sure.
And there's another off-speed pitch. And Inciarte's retired for the first time. 1 away in the 4th.
Right fielder, number 22,
and they called this place when it first opened the Big A, and it was a literal, meaningful nickname. I was asking you before we took air tonight, there was a gigantic red A out in the parking lot here, right?
Well, it's still, there is one out in the parking lot now, but the one that you're referring to, it was the scoreboard, and it sat right where, literally where that light tower is right now. But the center section of the A, the crossbar, if you will, of the A, was a giant scoreboard.
Oh, darn. And the stands weren't there, right? It was,
they were
open to
not.
the parking lot, right?
They were not.
And I loved your description of this place. This, now that I think about it, really is the American League's version of Dodger Stadium. It's a great call.
The way it kind of wraps around the foul poles a little bit.
That's in for a strike.
Might be able to look for that changeup from this guy. It's a good one.
Nick robbed of a hit last inning. Has a 1-2 count now. Their off-speed pitch. Marquez swung over the top. He's out number 2.
This was the first major league stadium I ever set foot in. Back foot slider there and a beauty. Came out here to play in a college tournament at Riverside, California, and we stopped here and got to walk out on the field, and I will never forget the feeling on the infield dirt and how soft and cushy it was and how immaculate it was. Big thrill.
I think we all take it for granted, don't we? There really is no green like a baseball field of any type when you see it for the very first time, right?
But and if you don't grow up in a major league city or near one, what a treat it is. And growing up in Oklahoma, there was no such thing as the Texas Rangers. You had to drive to Houston, who came into existence in '62, or drive to Kansas City to see the then Kansas City A's. So there wasn't anything really close.
No balls, 2 strikes for Matt Kemp. And
Boy.
a swing and a miss.
What an inning.
Yeah, Morin just struck out the side. Very impressive for the youngster who lives in Leawood, Kansas.
Of the 4th inning, the league and the players both finding unique ways to honor Memorial Day. Matt Kemp today is wearing hand-painted custom cleats. Now, these were actually hand-delivered to him during batting practice today. He let me see them, and you could still smell the fresh paint off of them. You can see the American flag painted on both sides with the Nike symbol painted in as well. And Chip and Joe, he told me the same guy who painted these cleats for him also does Odell Beckham's cleats, the wide receiver for the New York Giants. So I'm kind of bummed out we won't see Matt in the field because we might see some of that OBJ catches rubbing off on him up there.
Well, we got to watch him run the bases, though.
Yeah.
He was flashing those spikes running the bases. Those are awesome. Thanks, Kelsey.
Both clubs wearing the home camouflage adorned uniforms. Braves and Angels will be back to their regulation colors tomorrow night for Game 2 of the series. And all the proceeds from the royalties for sales of similar styled uniforms will go to MLB charities. And those proceeds will support military veterans and their families. Kelsey told us about the special baseball. If you look closely on the right side of Julio's cap as he's wearing the desert colored shoes. 5 stars on the right sleeve of the uniform and the right side of the cap denote the 5 branches of the U.S. military. And a high fly ball by Calhoun to straightaway left. Santana froze for a moment but makes the play. And Calhoun's out number 1. Julio had as easy an inning as you can have back in the 3rd. After Velasco and Morin threw 43 pitches in the 6th run Atlanta frame, Julio shut him down on 5 pitches. Well, that's demoralizing for another club. Keep momentum in your dugout. Julio did just that. Here's Pujols. Pujols back in his customary designated hitter spot for the Angels. 3 homers away from joining the 600 or better home run club. And a high fly ball hammered toward left. That one is gonna go. Albert Pujols with a solo home run. Number 598.
Julio knew it. That's why he looked down. Made a mistake down and in.
Saw that graphic that we had before Pujols hit the home run. It's so apropos that the next man he'll try to catch is Sammy Sosa, who started with the Cubs. In 1998, Pujols and Sosa had that remarkable individual mano-a-mano battle for 60 or more homers. As this one by Valbuena is hammered to deep right. Markakis will turn, and that one is going to go. It's a home run. The Angels have hit 3 solo homers tonight. And they're right back in the game all of a sudden. It's 6-3.
Solo homers aren't supposed to beat you, but that depends on how many you give up. Another fastball down the middle. Just got over that high right field wall. 6-3.
So no shutdown inning for Tehran in the 4th. Back-to-back homers. And Andrelton Simmons is the next hitter. And now let's see. Are the umpires going to take a look at this? They have the ability on a crew chief decision to take a look at replay on what's called a boundary call. And a boundary call would be a ball over the fence. Was there fan interference? Did it get over the yellow line in right field? Ted Barrett is the crew chief.
I did not see Nick Markakis do anything demonstrative out there that would lead me to believe he thought there was interference, but maybe there was. He was very close to the fence. He might not have been able to see up over the top.
I think it hit that fan's hands over the wall.
Yeah, he's reaching over the railing, but I'm not so sure that it was going to keep it from being a home run. There's that rail there. Home run.
Yeah, it's a homer. So there's the Pujols sign. They add a number to it. I got my former Cardinals mixed up. It was Mark McGwire, of course, not Albert Pujols and Sammy Sosa. But Pujols with the Cardinals 37, 43, 46, 41, 49 home runs with the Cardinals, 40 home runs here with the Angels 2 years ago. So I beg your pardon on that. But nonetheless, one of the great right-hand hitters, one of the great hitters, period, in the history of Major League Baseball. And 5 more years left on his contract with the Halos. And another shot down the line. This one out of play, foul by Andrelton Simmons. They are teeing off all of a sudden. And Andrelton already has a home run tonight. Six-3 game now. That's a good idea. Had him out in front. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It was a very good idea after those fastballs are getting rocketed all over the place.
So Julio back to work and a ground ball to short. Dansby's got it. Turns it loose and gets Simmons for the second out. So here's Nolan Fontana. So earlier in the game, I told you about Nolan Fontana, the kid from Richardson, Texas, and Winter Garden, Florida, named for Nolan Ryan, one of the great Angels hurlers. The cool bit of trivia about Nolan Fontana is he's the grandson of former All-Star Lou Burdett. Lou Burdett won 203 games in the big leagues, was the MVP of the 1957 World Series, and spent the final 2 years of his 18-year big league career with the Angels. And Nolan grew up in Central Florida. To West Orange High School is where he attended, and the University of Florida. The Angels got him on a waiver claim from the Astros after last year. That skips up their ball too.
It's a pretty good pickup for a guy that was a second-round pick, I believe.
At 278 at AA, 195 last year at AAA, and that one called a strike. (6-3) Braves have the lead. We're in the fourth. Back to the screen, out of play. Still 2-2. Three homers allowed by Tehran tonight. The first 3 homers he's allowed on the road all year. And they were not cheapies. And a swing and a miss subdues the Angels at last in the fourth inning. Back-to-back homers by Pujols and Valbuena. Number 598 for Albert Pujols. It's now a 6-3 game. It's the fifth inning, and it's brought to you by Audi. Atlanta will send Adams, Flowers, and Ruiz to the plate. Yusmeiro Petit, a man we've seen before, is in his 19th game now for the Angels.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. There are his numbers for the year: 19 games, good ERA, a lot of strikeouts, very good numbers. Looks like Mike Scioscia might try to go an inning plus with his guys the rest of the way in hopes of holding the Braves and not allowing them to add to their lead.
Adams doubled down the left field line his last time up. That 2-run double gave the Braves a 2-1 lead. 6 runs in the third, erased a 1-0 Angels advantage. Back-to-back homers brought them to within 6-3, and Adams didn't get it. It's 0-2. That's up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
In fact, this guy has been kind of a multi-inning worker for Mike Scioscia. He has 12 games of at least an inning and a third, and that's tied for the most in the majors.
Strike three. Adams is caught looking. And the last 4 Braves hitters have been struck out. One away for Tyler Flowers. Tyler struck out, and he reached on a Pennington error and later scored in the 3rd. The Braves sent 11 men to the plate that inning. 6 of them came home. And a sharply hit base hit to left for Tyler. Continues to sizzle at the plate. That's 2 well hit balls tonight. He's now 1 for 3.
Third baseman, number 14.
And good work earns Tyler Flowers our Zaxby's indescribably good player honors.
It has been totally indescribable. He's been so good. Average, on base, slugging. No catcher has a better average or on base percentage. Just outstanding work.
So here's Rio. An RBI hit and a run scored as well in 2 trips. And that one's bounced down by where his fans and friends might be sitting. Beyond the Braves dugout. Told you, Covina, California, 27 miles from the ballpark here in Anaheim. 27 miles southeast to be exact. So what a thrill for him. Ground ball towards second. Simmons with a cannon, as you know, turns the double play, and Atlanta's out of luck in the 5th inning. Bottom part of the lineup coming up for the Angels. It's a 3-run Atlanta lead. Playoffs, I'm buying.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
They are good. It's just a matter of what I keep saying is a youthful team with no they have some postseason experience. It didn't go well for them against the Royals, but man, can they play.
Good looking club. Braves are looking good so far tonight. 6-3 is the advantage. Bottom of the 5th inning. Maldonado, Pennington, and Eric Young coming up. 7, 8, 9. For Mike Scioscia, who is in, believe it or not, his 18th year as the manager of this Angels club. Bouncing ball left side. Rio can't get it. And Maldonado keeps on swinging a hot bat. He's 1 for 2. That's his 37th hit. He had 42 all year last year in Milwaukee.
Fastball. This time got it on the ground, but he hit it in the right spot.
So, good start for Mike Scioscia's club in the 5th inning. Mike's done an amazing job here. His Halos clubs have made the playoffs 7 times. They've won the West 6 times. And, of course, a 2002 World Championship. And this year, they are less than 100%. All those pitchers are banged up for them. And, of course, Mike Trout.
8 pitchers on the disabled list. And now Trout. You're right. Now, Mike does a good job. Always has.
No balls and a strike for Pennington. There's 2 out of his last 16. For a ballpark that looks a lot like Dodger Stadium, maybe plays a lot like Dodger Stadium, do you see the Angels in their system and the way that they play the game? Does that remind you of the Dodger way?
Hard to say. Don't get to see him enough to really know. But I do know this, that early in his career as the manager of the Angels, there was a lot of that. He instilled very much a National League style of play. First, taking extra bases, going first to third, hitting and running. If they do that still, I don't know. But that was one thing he tried to instill in his players when he first became manager.
2 balls and a strike. And a fly ball hit towards Santana in left. A check of the fence. Now he stops and makes the play. And Pennington's retired. Back to first is Maldonado. Here's Eric Young with 1 out.
Left fielder, number 8, Eric Young Jr.
I just find it fascinating that in the case of Mike Scioscia, there are 2 managers who have more wins than Mike with 1 club in baseball history. Told you Scioscia's got 1,516 victories. Tommy Lasorda had 1,599 with the Dodgers. Walter Alston 2,040 with the Dodgers. Pretty amazing. The consistency and success he has had here, and he's under contract through the 2018 year. Peterson will fire to Dansby for 1, and Eric Young can still run like the wind. He beats the ramp at first. 2 outs, and Cameron Maben's coming up.
Center fielder, number 9, Cameron.
Yeah, ball wasn't hit hard enough to get the double play, but a good try nonetheless. I don't remember exactly how many years Walter Alston managed the Dodgers, but the last count I remember was 23 consecutive 1-year contracts.
Can you imagine what this media environment we have now, what life would be like for a manager to go through that in this day and age?
Arbuckle just told me it was 24 total.
24.
Tough cookie too, buddy.
Yeah.
A lot like Bobby Cox.
Cameron Maben, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Cameron did a nice job with the Braves back in 2015. Hit 10 homers, drove in 59, stole 23 bases. Went back to Detroit, now is an Angel. Julio tied him up inside. It's 0-2, and Maben didn't think much of that call.
Good pitch. Good 2-seamer there. Something he's been trying to get to move for him tonight, but without a lot of luck last inning.
Runner goes. Pitch a ball. The throw to second. Short hops. And Eric Young has his first stolen base.
Angels are second in the American League in stolen bases. As a team, they have 38 now. They've only been caught 11 times. First for Eric Young.
So a little National League style action. So a hit for Maben could bring home Young and make it a 2-run affair. The pitch. Did he go? He did not.
Oh, boy.
Julio was walking off the mound. He thought he got a check swing strikeout. No such luck.
John Tumpain is the umpire at first. Came back with the same pitch. Good try. Just a little too far off the plate for him to offer.
Calhoun is next. Crowd trying to get loud in Anaheim. Another base runner would bring the tying run to the plate. And Maben walks. So that's the first base on balls allowed by Tehran tonight. But the stat you mentioned earlier is a little concerning. 2-out runs. Mentioned how many the Braves have scored. The Braves this year have given up 112 runs with 2 outs. That's the most in the major leagues. Tehran has given up 17 such runs. The Angels are creeping back into this game.
After the stolen base, though, he pitched him differently than I think he would have if Eric Young were still at first. It's like he had a base open and he wasn't trying to make a good enough pitch for the out.
And a strike to Calhoun, who's 0 for 2. Young reached on a force play. Maben walked. He's the man at first. Runners go. The pitch in the dirt. There'll be no throw from Flowers. The Angels pull off a double steal.
They know Julio's got a good move. They also know they can run on Tyler Flowers, who now, as his numbers go down, he's now 4 for 23.
So a hit means 2 runs for the Angels. Shift on for Calhoun. He's got the whole left side to play with. Instead, he yanks one foul past first and missed a double by not much.
That's part of the reason I was talking about with Maben, is that yes, you have a base open, but then you start getting to Calhoun, Pujols, Valbuena that have some pop and could turn this game around in a hurry. Taking nothing away from Maben, but he's a right-handed hitter and could get after him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And into the seats foul. Remember, it was Calhoun in the first inning that had a very long at-bat before grounding out to first. So he's seen just about everything Julio has in his arsenal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he swings and misses. Great time for that pitch. And Calhoun's offensive struggles continue, and Julio shuts him down in the 5th.
Leading off for Atlanta. He is getting his 2nd start in 3 games. He started on Saturday because the Braves are facing a lefty and he's a switch hitter. And Brian Snitker told me he's getting the start today because he wants to see what he can do with some more at-bats. He said he didn't get to see him during spring training since he was with the Twins, and also noted that since he came from the AL, bench guys don't get many ABs. So we saw the big 2-run double there for him in his first at-bat, Joe. But do you like what you're seeing from him so far?
I do now, Kelsey. I thought he seemed confused and pinch hitting just a couple of times a week. As Brian said, that's not going to get a guy into any kind of groove. But he was probably trying to make an impression immediately and trying to swing too hard and swing at too many bad pitches. But he's beginning to settle in now, and a couple of starts at home really helped him.
And the last couple of games, when he's made solid contact, the ball seems to really jump off this guy's back.
Sure does.
And that's always appreciated, as that one skied foul out of play. Santana's lined out, and he's doubled home 2. Nice to see the Braves pick up another run or 2 here in the last couple of innings. We're in the 6th. It's a 6-3 advantage in game 1.
Let's not forget, too, that Matt Adams' first game when he came to the Braves, again, trying to make a good impression. He struck out the first 3 times he came up and then lined out to end the ball game against the Nationals his last time up. So everybody wants to do well when they first come to a new ball club. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that way.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And at the knees, strike 3 called. Petit takes care of Santana. The last 7 outs, 5 have been via strikeout. The other 2 outs came on a double play ball. So this Angels bullpen has done a nice job. 1 away. Jace Peterson's 0 for 1 with a walk. And in at the knees. Game 2 tomorrow night comes an hour later. Bartolo Colon will pitch for Atlanta. Parker Bridwell is going to come up and make his big league debut. That is twisting toward the stands and into them. 0-2. Missed the inside corner.
13th time now that Petit has pitched at least an inning and a third. You see a lot of that in the American League because without a pitcher batting, their turn doesn't come up.
Ground ball to the right side. Valbuena feeds Petit. He gets to the bag in time. That was an interesting sequence. As the Angels pitcher was making his stretch, Andrelton Simmons almost sprinted to the first base side of the second base bag to get into a shift, and Jace hit right into that shift for the second out.
Yeah, they were all moving to their left. There was the call. Change up, rolled over it. Almost a tip off to the hitter. If you want to read into it something why they're doing that, it's usually because of something off speed they expect you to pull. But that was pretty drastic.
Dansby's got a hit. He scored a run in 2 trips. And that one's off the plate, ball 1. That's headed for the upper tank, and Dansby has an even count. Winners today in National League play: Miami, San Diego, the Mets, Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers. Braves are winning 6-3. And late called strike, 1-2. Struck him out over the outside corner, and the Angels are racking up punch-outs. That's 6 of them over the last 3 innings. And Albert Pujols' chase to history continues next. Honors our fallen heroes. There's some scenes from that great pregame ceremony. Marine Corps Honor Guard. Great to see Rod Carew at the ballpark too. Rod Carew underwent heart transplant surgery in December and looks great.
Yeah, he did. Thrilled to see him here.
So Albert Pujols will lead off the Angels' 6th inning. He's hit a home run tonight, number 598 in his career. He's now 12 RBIs from 10th place all time. And a high fly ball into left center field. Santana got there and makes a basket catch with Inciarte sliding in at his knees. How about that play?
That's crazy. He knew that Ender was coming, but he wasn't going to just let the ball fall, and he just stuck his glove out there. Danny was calling for it, but he knew Ender was zipping in there too.
Wow. That's a great catch for the first out. And here's Valbuena. He struck out and homered. Now the count even. Two more with the Angels in Anaheim Tuesday and Wednesday night. Off day Thursday. Then we greet you from Cincinnati on Friday evening, where the Reds had a rough day today. They faced the Toronto Blue Jays, and Toronto must have had the hitting shoes on because they beat the Reds 17-2.
A lot of high-scoring games today.
One ball, two strikes. And right into the shift. Rio makes the play, and Valbuena's retired, 2 out. That was defended absolutely perfectly. And here's Andrelton Simmons. He hit the first of 3 solo homers for the Angels. One thing we noticed about Julio a couple of starts ago, Joe, was how aggressive he got in the count.
But it seemed like that was after some damage had been done, that he got more aggressive, got a little fire in him. Tonight it's been from the start.
Strike one now to 18 of 23 hitters.
Some breaking balls to Simmons his last time up, got a ground out.
Little check swing bouncer. Julio's got it, and his flip to first is in time. And Julio gets him in order, 1-2-3 in the 6th. Top of the order coming up for Atlanta. 6-3 is your score. T-Mobile on this Memorial Day Monday. Let's check out what's happening down on the farm. Gwinnett, Mississippi, and Rome making news tonight.
Yeah, Gwinnett beat Syracuse 4-3 in 10 innings. Another good outing for Patrick Weigel and Adonis Garcia on his rehab. Big night. Chris Medlin will pitch tomorrow night, his third minor league start, and Ronald Acuna continuing his hot ways, a 6-game hitting streak, 10 for 24 over that stretch. And Rome defeated Greenville 3-2. Joey Wentz, who was a supplemental pick last year, 4 innings of 2-hit ball. And Brett Cumberland is on fire. He's driven in like 20 runs in his last 6 or 7 games. It's been crazy.
They've named them all after him in Atlanta as a result.
Right there by, yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Here's Jose Alvarez. He's pitched now in 7 of the last 11 games for the Angels. 26 appearances, second most in the American League. Petit went 2 innings with a hit, struck out 3. Morin went an inning and a third with 3 strikeouts. So it's Alvarez to face Inciarte, Markakis, Kemp, and Adams. Fly ball toward left. Young near the line is going to have room. And he staggered a bit but made the play for out number 1.
Right fielder, number 22, Nick Markakis.
Nick Markakis is 0 for 3. Nick was robbed by Cameron Maben, one of the best catches we've seen this year. A gap shot back in the 3rd inning. Nick struck out in the 4th and is tapped back to the pitcher as well. Nothing in 2. Not only are the Angels without Mike Trout now, they're without Yunel Escobar, who hasn't played since May 13th. He's been out with a hamstring problem.
He's supposed to be back pretty quick. They said he's been taking some ground balls and real close to being activated. Yet another former Brave.
Little pop. That's going to hang up. Who wants it? It'll be Maben. He's got it. And 2 outs. And again, we see all these major league teams, and you go up and down the injury card. Hamstring, hamstring, hamstring. It's an epidemic, it seems.
Everybody's stretched out so tight. You know, the workout regimen and the weightlifting just makes me wonder if there's too much of that performance type conditioning going on and not enough baseball type conditioning.
Makes total sense.
These guys are not track athletes.
Matt Kemp, the hitter, and he drives one toward right. That should be easy, and it is. Calhoun puts it away, and have to be very impressed with this Angels bullpen. They have given up just 1 hit after Ricky Nolasco's 3rd inning troubles. Atlanta 6, the Angels 3. Julio Teheran is going to come back out, it appears, for the 7th inning. Fontana, Maldonado, and Pennington, the trio coming up. And as we remember this Memorial Day Monday in Anaheim, the crowd here at the Big A stands as one. Time for a stirring rendition of God Bless America on an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball.
Please join me. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Take me out to the ball game.
Your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Atlanta's winning the Battle of the A's tonight. 6-3 is your score at the 7th inning stretch. Julio Teheran is back to work. He's looked crisp. He's looked sharp. Yeah, he's given up 3 homers, but Atlanta gave him a 6-run lead, or I should say 5-run lead, after 3 innings of play, and he's made it stand up. He's got the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up for the Halos. Fontana, Maldonado, and Pennington.
He went 7 innings his second start of the year at Pittsburgh. Got a no decision, and he's gone at least 6 innings in 2 of his last 3 starts, including 3 starts ago at Miami, 6 innings of 3-hit shutout ball.
And a rare first pitch miss out of the strike zone for Julio.
And his pitch count's very manageable, 79.
That's in for a strike, 1-1. Only 1 walk so far for Teheran in the game. And a little squibber right back to him at the base of the mound. Easy play. That takes care of the leadoff man Fontana. 1 away here in the 7th. What better way to celebrate the start of summer than by joining us for Kids Week at SunTrust Park, June 5 through the 8th. Each day has something special, so join us for unique kids experiences and giveaways all week long. Go to Braves.com/KidsWeek and get all the details. Maldonado's 1 for 2. That's out of play, left side. Strike 1 for the Angels catcher.
Should mention that Ron Renicki's back coaching at third base for the Angels after his stint as the manager of the Brewers for several years. He and Mike Scioscia came up together through the Dodger system.
And Maldonado just got hit by a pitch.
Looked like a changeup too. Got away from him. Took it right off that elbow guard. Or a portion of it.
So Maldonado is the man at first.
Yeah.
Ed Pennington's up. Action begins in the Braves bullpen. You heard the press box PA say that Jose Ramirez is loosening. And a liner past Rio, who is playing in. So the Angels coming back here in the 7th. 2 on, 1 out. Eric Young, the batter, representing the tying run again.
Not sure, but it looked like Rio got a little caught leaning to his right, so was not able to get to that hot shot to his left. Not sure why, but maybe he was just getting his feet set, but seemed to have more weight on his right foot there.
Eric Young is a great story of persistence. He's been with a lot of different organizations. He's been up and down, big leagues, minor leagues. He's now 32 years old. Was with the Yankees last September. Was in the minor leagues for the Angels and hit .354, 10 doubles, 5 homers, 26 RBIs, and 15 steals at AAA. And when Trout got hurt, he got the call.
Made it back. Both bullpens in this ballpark are out in left field beyond the fence. Similar setup to what we see in Philadelphia.
Up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Eric Young played with the Braves in 2015, 35 games. Took a high strike. Well, that changes the count. 2-2.
That was very much like the pitch that hit Maldonado. A change up, kind of sailing up and away from him. Got the call.
Now it's full. Now you're entering the danger zone because the top of the order's next.
Biggest pitch of the night for Julio.
And here it is. Little bloop into shallow center. It's going to drop for a hit. And the Angels have loaded the bases in the 7th inning with only 1 out. All this trouble started with a hit batsman. And Brian Snitker to the top step is now on his way to the mound.
And that's going to do it for Julio.
So Tehran pitches 6 1/3 innings. He allowed 3 solo home runs, but he will depart with the bases loaded and Cameron Maybin coming up against the Atlanta pen. 6-3 Atlanta, but the Halos are making a late surge. Julio Teheran, 91 pitches, leaves with the bases loaded. 3 solo home runs allowed by Teheran, the first 3 homers he's allowed on the road this year. And now he turns things over to Jose Ramirez with Cameron Maybin, the first man he'll face.
Real good numbers for Jose in inherited runners. 7 inherited, only 1 has scored, but boy, he's in a pickle here with the top of the order. Coming in with the bases loaded, 1 out. He typically starts an inning with a clean slate. This time, sacks are full. And the Angels have their rally monkeys out.
Yeah, we were hoping not to see that. But here they are. Maybin 0 for 2 with a walk. A .290 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. And he's been deadly leading off. And the first one not close from Ramirez, ball 1.
Jose worked 3 days ago against the Giants, a third of an inning.
.96 and right on by Cameron Maybin, who's holding his left side after that swing. Besides hamstrings, obliques are something we see an awful lot. And a beach ball's gotten loose on the warning track. And finally, the third base umpire, Ted Barrett, sees that and will have a pause. And Angel Hernandez is going to get a wind sprint in real quick.
Tyler Flowers will take that opportunity to have a word with Jose.
One ball, 1 strike. Last couple of years, Maybin's been one of the best hitters in the major leagues with runners in scoring position. A .355 average the last 3 seasons. Well, he's got a great chance to make it a close game here.
And a very fast runner at first, representing the tying run.
It won't matter if Ramirez can't throw a strike. So they missed badly with a breaking ball. He's got a fastball count, a fastball hitter, and the bases loaded. What do you come up with now?
Yeah, it levels the playing field no matter how hard you throw when they pretty much know that's what you've got to throw.
Maldonado, Pennington, and Young, the runners. And he painted a corner at 97. Maybin took it, full count.
If somehow you could get the runners to take off, thinking there's 2 outs, that might help.
Long look in by Ramirez. And a high hopper. Rio's got it. He'll find a second one. The turn. It's in time. A double play and a beauty. Maybin is doubled up. Ramirez comes back from a 3-1 count. And the Angels load him up but cannot break through. And the Braves maintain a 3-run lead.
Boy, oh boy, you turn a double play with Cameron Maybin running, you've done something. Great turn by Jace at second base. Well done.
So the Angels cannot break through in the 7th. Atlanta's lead remains 6-3. And as we head to the 8th inning, we will step aside and offer some of Major League Baseball's finest thoughts on this Memorial Day 2017.
playing on Memorial Day and seeing, men and women who come out in the armed forces, and you just feel so grateful that you get to play this game for a living.
Patriotic holidays are always great. You got to give thanks to the men and women fighting for us and our freedoms.
Growing up as a kid, Memorial Day, it was baseball all day long, and it was just fun. It was just something really, really American about that. Seeing the teams wear the different hats and different jerseys, it felt like those games were a lot more important.
It all goes back to, giving thanks to, our soldiers for all they've been able to do. They put their lives on the line for us to be able to play the game that we love.
Being that a lot of my family served, I kind of have a special place in my heart for them.
Seeing the sacrifices that those people make on a day-to-day basis is way bigger than anything we do on the field, way bigger than any home run. Or so it really makes us even more thankful that we get to, live in this country and play this wonderful game for a living.
Absolutely love how thoughtful today's younger generation is when thinking of and remembering the sacrifices made by men one, maybe two generations older than they. And certainly we talked about this the other day in San Francisco. There have been many major league men who have sacrificed their careers to serve our nation in times of war. Our own Ernie Johnson fought on Okinawa as a member of the United States Marine Corps. Ted Williams and Jerry Coleman, pilots in World War II in Korea. Christy Mathewson and Ty Cobb. Mathewson almost died while being gassed in a training accident during the war that was supposed to end all wars, World War I. Warren Spahn fought in the Battle of the Bulge. I mean, the list goes on. And when you think about these men as performing heroic feats on the field, I'm sure they would have been the first to say that's nothing compared to what they saw and did while wearing our nation's uniform in the military. And we salute them, and we salute those who continue to serve today.
Well said.
Blake Parker is the new pitcher.
35 strikeouts, 22 innings. There is a note in the Angels notes that says Blake Parker finished spring training with an active streak of 17 consecutive outs recorded by way of strikeout.
Well, with the first two pitches he's thrown, I can see why he might be able to do that.
Nasty split finger pitch.
No balls, two strikes for Matt Adams. And look at that ball dance down and away from the left-hand hitter. It's funny how baseball works in cycles or circles. In the 80s, everybody was throwing the split finger pitch. Then the hard slider came about. Now it's the cut fastball. Guys like Parker are modern throwbacks to a pitch that these kids in the big leagues probably have never seen except on television.
9 strikeouts for Braves hitters tonight.
And 7 of them since the start of the 4th inning. Remember, it was the 3rd when Atlanta erupted for 6 runs on 5 hits. Three earned runs for Julio Teheran over his 6 1/3 tonight. He's in line to win. And if this score holds, he'll go 4-4.
He only gave up 6 hits, but 3 of them were homers. Fortunately, all solo.
Flowers didn't get that. Might have gotten a piece of it. 0-2. Parker's been quite a find. They got him on a waiver claim after last season. Originally, he was with the Cubs organization. Had 25 saves in 2014 with the Pacific Coast League Iowa Cubs. That led the PCL. Last year pitched with Seattle, the Yankees, and then signed with Milwaukee and never played with them. He's out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. And one bounced up there.
It's interesting too, and you look at all of his numbers, especially all of his strikeouts, and he always racked up a lot of strikeouts per innings pitched. He didn't have that many walks. So he's getting, with that split finger pitch, a lot of swings and misses.
Two balls, two strikes. As he comes to the stretch, he's got a glove waggle like Brandon Phillips has a bat waggle.
Yeah.
Watch the action with this guy's glove as he.
Yeah, he is shake, rattling, and rolling that thing.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher do that.
Well, part of it must involve his grip, trying to get the ball set either in his split finger or take it out of the split finger to a more traditional grip.
And he just struck out Flowers.
That was 94, four-seamer.
So two quick outs. Here's Rio Ruiz. I would imagine for an opposing club facing the Angels, today's bullpens, we rave about everybody throwing 96, 97 miles an hour. He doesn't have to. He's got a good enough fastball, but it's the different looks and the different stuff that I'm sure give hitters a huge amount of trouble. Can't just sit back and wait for heat. It's nothing straight. At least not from this guy.
No.
And their pen has been excellent.
Wouldn't do you a whole lot of good to move up in the box either to try to pick off that split finger if he's going to rear back and throw 94.
Ten Braves have struck out in the game. Rio's done it once, but he also has a run-scoring hit. Velasco struck out 2. Marin struck out 3. Petit struck out 3. Parker struck out the first 2 he's seen in the 8th. And that's a little low. 2 balls and a strike. That's hit high in the air into the upper deck, left side foul. And Rio's hanging tough. That is a devastating pitch, boy. 3 up, 3 down. You know, Bruce Suter's watching this one back in Atlanta, and Mr. Parker has a nasty splitter working tonight. And SunTrust Park is exactly the same thing. Get the Braves' new family value plan, which gets you 4 game tickets, a parking pass, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, starting at just $75, a savings of up to 45% off the listed ticket price. Go to Braves.com/family to plan your next family trip to SunTrust Park. So here we go. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Calhoun, Pujols, and Valbuena are coming up. Arodys Vizcaíno is on to pitch.
12 straight scoreless outings for him. Has struck out 13 and allowed just 3 hits.
Calhoun is 0 for 3 in the game. Boy, what a job by Ramirez to get a double play ball to take the Angels out of a bases loaded 1-out inning. But now they've got to try to start all over again, down 3 runs. They've got 6 outs left. Popped out a play foul. As you see from that center field camera shot, our pal Jerome Jurinovich is obviously moonlighting. Did you know this? Look at this. Move out of the way, Cal. Go Calhoun. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hits one a mile high toward left. Santana going back. The Park's going to hold it. And there's the first out. Calhoun is 0 for 4. And here is Albert Pujols. A little more history for Albert in the 4th inning. The second of 3 homers allowed by Tehran.
Like a fastball that was coming back to him, down and in. That was not Sherwin-Williams painting the corners. That was almost in the bucket.
Would have made somebody $1 million. Pujols now 2 homers away from 600. That is his 58th homer in interleague play, by the way. And he grounds toward third. Rio's got it. Pujols has had some plantar fasciitis problems throughout his career. He doesn't run nearly as well as he used to. And he's an easy second out in the 8th inning. And Pujols signed through the 2021 season, and we're told he also has a 10-year personal services contract with Artie Moreno at roughly $1 million a year after his playing days conclude.
That's a nice contract. That's right there with Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah. He's got the old deferred money plan working for another, I don't know, 15, 20 years. In fact, a couple of years ago, Bobby Bonilla was the 2nd highest paid player on the Mets roster. And he'd been retired for a decade. So 2 quick outs. Valbuena, the batter. He hit a 4th inning home run, his 3rd of the year. He's into double figures in the RBI column now with 10. And up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves can hold on tonight. They will earn their 22nd win. They'll even up their record on the road trip 2-2. And they will send Bartolo Colon to the mound here tomorrow night. That's in for a strike. It's 2-1. That missed way outside. 3-1. Don't want to walk people.
Every once in a while, Arodys' mechanics get a little haywire and he falls way off to the first base side and leaves that that particular pitch up and away to left-handed hitter. Sometimes trying to get a little extra on his fastball.
2-out walk. Andrelton Simmons is coming up. I recall the Braves acquired Andrelton from the Angels, or sent Andrelton to the Angels, I beg your pardon, for Chris Ellis and Sean Newcomb. Simmons a homer. He's 1 for 3.
Newcomb had a good game last night. Struck out 9 batters over 5 innings. 3 hits, 3 walks, and 1 run.
He can keep cutting those walks down. He's going to have a chance to get to the big leagues sooner rather than later, it would appear.
Some other good news. Dustin Peterson, who was on the shelf with that broken hamate bone, is back playing, and he's driven in 8 runs in his first 9 games for Gwinnett.
Sharply hit. Dansby dives. Nice play. He'll flip to second. A spectacular play by Dansby Swanson. Something Andrelton Simmons knows a thing or two about. Dansby takes away a hit from the former Brave shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. And Vizcaino is out of the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-3 Atlanta. The Angels, much like what the Braves went through last week with Freddie Freeman, Mike Trout has torn the ligament in his left thumb on a head-first slide at second base down in Miami. And a few moments ago, the Angels announced that Mike Trout, who's gone to the disabled list for the first time in his career, will have to undergo surgery on Wednesday to do corrective work on the ligament in his thumb. His projected time off will be 6 to 8 weeks. A crippling blow for the Angels' perennial MVP candidate. And if I may get on my soapbox for a minute here, if baseball really wants to do something about preventing player injuries, you can forget about the silly slide rule. You can forget about the crazy catcher's rules, blocking the plate rules. How about eliminating head-first slides? How many guys get hurt just like Mike Trout did? Jamming wrists and breaking fingers and tearing ligaments and the neck injuries from hitting the base hard. You brought up back problems if you belly flop incorrectly. You want to fix guys and keep them healthy? Slide feet first. Okay, I'm off.
I'm with you. I don't know that that'll ever happen because it became, became popular with Pete Rose so long ago. And in some players' minds, it's a sign of hustle. You know, it's a sign of really getting after it. And let me show you how how hard I'm playing, get my uniform dirty. The sad part for Mike Trout was
right back up the middle. Nice play, Simba, and a laser to first. Valbuena checks the webbing, made the play, 1 out.
Nice play by Valbuena. No, the sad part was there was no play on Trout. The throw was way off the mark. Real Muto has a great throwing arm, but is way off the mark. In truth, he didn't even have to slide, but he didn't know that. And he got his thumb caught under his hand. It didn't get jammed into it. I'm told he got it pinned backwards.
Like it rolled over?
Yeah.
So Jace Peterson's the batter. He's 0 for 2, and Jace has walked. I may be wrong about this, but I seem to remember a couple of years ago the Astros were a team that was trying to get their players to stop doing that. If a player did it out of instinct or bad habit, they just took him out of the game.
Yeah, minor leagues. They started there.
Now, I don't know if that's carried over into the big leagues or with their big league club or not. I don't think we had any instances of that in Houston. But when you lose players like Mike Trout, the way that he slid, how's that any less destructive to the game than a whip out slide at second base or a collision that hurts a star catcher? Line drive to center, and Maben makes the play. And Jace Peterson's retired, 2 outs in the 9th.
And in true Jace fashion, line drive right at somebody.
Dansby Swanson is the hitter, an infield hit and a run scored.
No, I hate it. I hate it when the truly good players in our game, and you know, the commissioner was really making a push at the beginning of the year for us to talk more about the young stars, really promote them. And here we got Freddie Freeman on the shelf for probably 8 more weeks, and now Trout.
And you look at their numbers, Joe, head to head, they're almost identical.
Oh, I believe it.
Slugging percentage, on base percentage. Trout's played 10 more games than Freddie has.
Yeah, Freddie had 14 home runs. And that was, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Almost 3.
They were separated by 4 points in batting average, 1 run, 9 hits, 2 homers, 6 points in slugging percentage, and they have an identical on base percentage. So with all due respect to Mike Trout and his perennial MVP candidacy, Freddie Freeman was on the exact same track for the Atlanta Braves in 2017 until he broke his wrist.
There you go.
Pretty amazing.
Give you some idea how awesome Freddie's start was, because he hasn't played in 15 games or so.
Fly ball toward left. Young drifts back. He's going to make the catch. And it's last call for the Angels in the 9th. Braves 6, Anaheim 3. Head night brought to you by Coca-Cola. The first 20,000 fans at SunTrust Park walk away with their very own bobblehead of Big Sexy himself. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Cologne tomorrow night. Jim Johnson tonight in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Chief will try to close out a 6-3 Atlanta victory for Julio Teheran.
He picked up a save in San Francisco, which was his 10th of the year. Just a .208 average against him for the season.
On a night where Ricky Nolasco really struggled for the Angels, you've got to tip your cap to the Anaheim relief corps. 6 1/3 innings of 1 hit, 9 strikeout relief to give them a chance to come back.
And they retired the last 13 in a row.
So Johnson will have Fontana, Maldonado, and Pennington coming up. And the first pitch, a strike. Great crowd tonight, 38,251 on a perfect evening in Anaheim, California. Game number 49 of the year for the Braves. And the count even, a ball into strike. Good breaking ball for Johnson, 1-2. Oh, that almost backed up over the inside corner.
Yeah, Fontana almost walked into it, almost jammed himself by walking into it when it came back.
Swing and a miss. And Johnson's off to a good start. Fontana strikes out for the 3rd time in 4 trips. The other appearance, he bounced back to the mound. That's the first strikeout by the Braves relief corps tonight. Julio Teheran had 5. Here's Maldonado.
Good action on that fastball.
He's rediscovered the sink.
Yes, he has.
Jim's had a couple of seasons in the American League with big save numbers. And a fly ball toward left center. Ender sprints in and makes the catch. Excellent jump. Maldonado's retired. And the Braves are out away from winning the opener of the series.
One more out, get back on the winning track after those 2 losses in San Francisco, especially that one yesterday. That one yesterday was sour. Fell behind early. Wasn't much fun. And by and large, the team's been playing well. The thing that was really good about that 3rd inning tonight was how many runs came across after there were 2 outs. All of them.
And as we said at the time, one pitch might have made the biggest difference in the game. The pitch that was called ball 4 to Kemp. That led to the uprising. And a shot the other way by Cliff Pennington. Punches a single through the left side. And the Angels aren't done yet. Eric Young's coming up with a man aboard and 2 out.
A little too good a pitch there, 0-2. That's 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats for Pennington, who had been 0 for 10 and 2 for his last 17.
Young has a 7th inning hit. His base hit loaded the bases. That brought on Jose Ramirez, who got Maben to hit into a 5-4-3 double play on a full count pitch. That was the last best chance for the Angels tonight. Popped up and into the seats. Even count. Runner at first goes, and it's fouled away. One ball, 2 strikes. Again, the runner goes, and a swing and a miss ends the ball game. The Braves come to Anaheim and beat the Angels by a 6-3 final score. Atlanta, with a 6-run 3rd inning, beats Ricky Nolasco, who suffers his 11th career defeat at the hands of the Braves. Julio Teheran still undefeated on the road. He's now 3-0 away from SunTrust Park. He's 4-4 overall, and a good start to the action in Southern California tonight, partner.
I'm just so impressed with what they were doing offensively in the 2nd and the 3rd inning with that 2-out clutch hitting that everybody put together. It was great.
So the Braves 500 on the road trip. Game 2's coming up tomorrow.